Tonight, somewhere in North America, a rabbit will move through the darkness without realizing that it has already been noticed. Above it, almost completely silent, an owl waits. Its eyes are built for darkness. Its face collects the faintest sounds. Its feathers soften the noise of every wing beat. And when it finally leaves the branch, the animal below may never hear it coming. This is the great horned owl, one of the most powerful nocturnal predators in the Americas. But 100 days earlier, there was no hunter, no wings, no talons gripping a branch, no enormous yellow eyes searching the darkness. There was only an egg, and inside it, a tiny bird with no idea how much it would have to learn before it could enter the night. This is the first chapter of its life, from egg to first flight.
Day 1. The egg. The story begins while much of the forest is still waiting for spring. Great horned owls are unusual among North American birds because they can begin nesting astonishingly early. In some places, winter is still holding the landscape when the female settles over her eggs. There may be one, there may be two, sometimes more. The eggs are plain white, almost unimpressive for a bird that will eventually become such an imposing predator. And the nest itself may not belong to the owls at all. Great horned owls are not famous builders. Instead, they often take over what already exists: an abandoned hawk nest, an old crow nest, a platform, a cavity, a ledge, sometimes even a nest left behind by another large bird. For the next month, the female's world becomes very small. She remains close to the eggs, around day 34. Hatching. Hatching is not a dramatic explosion. It can be slow, exhausting. The chick works from inside the egg, breaking through a shell that has protected it for weeks. When it finally emerges, it looks nothing like the predator it will become. Its body is covered in pale down. Its eyes are closed. Its neck can barely support its head. It cannot hunt. It cannot fly. It cannot regulate its own life without help. For a bird capable of becoming one of the dominant predators in its environment, the beginning is remarkably fragile. For the first days, warmth is survival. The mother remains close, sheltering the owlet beneath her body. The father keeps hunting: a mouse, a rat, a rabbit, perhaps another bird. Whatever the landscape provides. The mother tears the food into pieces small enough for the chick to swallow. At this stage, there is no elegance to being an owl. There is only hunger, sleep, warmth, and growth. But growth happens quickly because outside the nest, the clock is already running. Days 40 to 50, the world appears. Within roughly the first 2 weeks after hatching, the owlet's eyes open. For the first time, the nest becomes a visible place. Branches, sky, its mother, perhaps a sibling beside it, and movement beyond the edge. Those eyes will become one of the animal's greatest advantages. A great horned owl's eyes are enormous relative to its skull. They gather light extremely well, allowing the bird to function in conditions where human vision begins to fail. But the eyes themselves cannot swivel inside their sockets the way ours can, so the owl has another solution: its neck. The head can rotate more than halfway around, allowing the owl to redirect its gaze without moving its entire body. And vision is only half of what is developing. The owl's face is becoming an instrument for sound. The broad facial disc helps guide faint noises toward the ears, a rustle beneath leaves, tiny feet crossing grass, movement that cannot be seen. Eventually, these sounds will reveal prey hidden in darkness. For now, though, the owlet is still learning something much simpler: how to stand.
Days 50 to 65. Growing into the body. The white newborn down begins to disappear. Grayish and buff feathers replace it. Wing feathers lengthen. Tail feathers emerge. And the famous tufts above the head begin to take shape. They look like ears. They're not. The actual ears are hidden beneath feathers on the sides of the head. The tufts are part of the owl's silhouette, one of the features that makes an adult great horned owl instantly recognizable. But the most important changes are happening elsewhere. The legs become stronger. The feet become more powerful. The talons become weapons. An adult great horned owl can tackle an extraordinary range of prey: rabbits, rodents, snakes, waterfowl, other birds of prey, even skunks. It is one of the most adaptable hunters on the continent. The chick in the nest is nowhere near ready for any of that, but something inside it keeps pushing toward the edge. It stretches its wings, again and again. The movement may look pointless. It isn't. Muscles are developing. Balance is improving. Feathers are arranging themselves into the machinery of flight. Soon, the nest will know. At around day 75, the first step out. At roughly 6 weeks old, many great horned owlets begin doing something called branching. It is one of the most dangerous-looking stages of their development. The young owl leaves the security of the nest and climbs onto nearby limbs. It may hop, scramble, flap, lose its balance, recover, and sometimes end up somewhere its parents probably did not intend. But this awkward phase matters. For weeks, the nest has been the entire world. Now the world has depth, distance, wind, height. A branch can move beneath the feet. A gap must be crossed, and beneath everything is the ground. Young great horned owls are surprisingly capable climbers. If one ends up below the nest before it can properly fly, strong feet and beak can help it work its way upward again. Still, every trip beyond the nest carries risk: a fall, exposure, a predator, a bad landing. There is no flight school in the forest, no safe practice room. The owlet learns in the same environment in which mistakes have consequences. And then, sometime during the next few weeks, instinct asks for something much more difficult: let go. Around day 85 to 95, first flight. The first flights are rarely beautiful. An adult great horned owl can move through trees with extraordinary control. Its broad wings help it maneuver through woodland. Its soft feathers reduce the sound of the air passing across them. The result is a predator capable of approaching through darkness with remarkably little warning. The young owl has the same basic equipment, but not the experience. It crouches, leans forward, opens its wings, and jumps. For a moment,
Everything the owl has been becoming is tested at once. Balance, wing strength, feather control, vision, judgment. The first destination may be only another branch. The flight may last seconds. The landing may be terrible, but it counts. The animal that entered the world unable even to hold up its own head has left the tree under its own power. It can fly, just not very well. Not yet.
Around day 100, between childhood and the night. By around 100 days from the beginning of the egg's development, the young owl has crossed an enormous distance without traveling very far. It has gone from an embryo sealed inside a shell to a down-covered hatchling, to a branch-climbing juvenile, to a bird capable of flight. But this is not the end of the story. In many ways, it is the beginning of the dangerous part, because flying is not the same as surviving. The parents will continue to provide food. The young owl will follow them, watch them, call for meals, explore farther from the nest. Its flights will become longer, its landings more controlled, and gradually the skills that kept its parents alive will have to become its own. Hunting requires more than wings. The owl must becoming the hunter. Eventually, the young owl's world changes again. The begging calls become less important. The parents deliver fewer easy meals. The nights become lessons. The bird waits alone on a branch. The forest looks different after sunset. To us, darkness removes information. To an owl, darkness is opportunity. The enormous eyes gather what light remains. The facial feathers channel sound. Soft plumage quiets the wings. The short, broad shape of those wings allows the owl to maneuver between trees, and underneath the body, the feet wait. This combination has allowed great horned owls to live in an astonishing variety of landscapes: forests, grasslands, deserts, wetlands, farmland, suburbs, even cities. Wherever there is enough prey and somewhere to nest, this owl often finds a way. That adaptability may be its greatest weapon. Not the eyes, not the talons, not silent flight. The ability to make almost any landscape work. Months from now, the young owl may finally leave the territory where it was raised. It will no longer be the helpless creature that once disappeared beneath its mother's feathers. The white down will be gone. The awkward hops along branches will be gone. The uncertain first flights will be gone. In their place will be something the forest recognizes immediately: a predator. And perhaps on some future night, another animal will move through the darkness beneath it: a rabbit, a mouse, a bird settling into sleep. The owl will listen. It will turn its head. It will open its wings, and almost without a sound, it will leave the branch. 100 days ago, it was an egg. Now its first flights have begun. The night will teach it the rest. This is First Days Wild. Every life begins with a fight to survive.